How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wicked New England. I don't know where it is by you, but it's pretty cold here. I'm here with my co-hosts,
I'm Anthony.
I'm John.
and it's the holidays. Should be pretty much Christmas time when this video is airing. Not Christmas yet, but Christmas time. We'll say that. All right. So anyway, this one's actually going to be a group movie review. We just got done watching the movie Krampus. Figured keeping with the season and all, a little horror, but keeping it festive to the season. So I'll put a picture of the video right here, like so. And let's get into it. So first off, before we review, what's your favorite kill or moment? Let's start with that.
Okay, my favorite
Spoilers.
Moment. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's kind of important.
It's like 8 years old now, though, so you probably saw it.
I remember I saw this in theaters thinking that, like, me and my friends, we all thought we were the coolest
You had
kids.
friends?
Yeah, I know, crazy, right? I didn't expect it either. Yeah, we all thought we were the coolest kids because we were going all out to see Krampus, you know?
Even though it was PG-13, they felt like a bunch of badasses.
We were. No, not really.
This one time we stayed up way late past 10.
We stayed up till 10:15 on a weeknight.
We were wild kids.
And we had soda. My favorite part is when the parents all go upstairs and then they look over and see the Jack-in-the-Box. Like, ah. That's my favorite part. Because all I can see is Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what role he is, that's Ben.
Anyway, so back to the video. Yeah, my favorite part was definitely the gingerbread men. Twisted-looking gingies with the sharpened candy canes, trying to stab people with. I mean, that's great.
That was hilarious.
You know, one good thing about this movie, too, folks, is it's rated PG-13. So if you have young ones that maybe can handle the terror, you can actually watch this one with them, and there's not actually a lot of gore.
If you can call it terror, to be fair.
Yeah. Silliness. Obviously, like, if kids are scared, whatever. I don't know. My kid's 5 and he watches horror movies with me, so I mean, teach their own, be your own parent. But yeah. But that was my favorite, was the gingerbread man. How about you, Anthony?
I like the gingerbread man myself. Interesting seeing them kick the shit out of a human being, but...
Alright, let me ask you guys this. Which gingerbread scene was your favorite? Them with the lantern or them with the chain?
When he was on the floor, pinned in the kitchen,
okay.
Yeah.
and he launched himself with the candy cane, and the dog ate him. The dog ate the gingerbread
Awesome.
like mid-flight. That
was so funny.
But yeah, that's probably it for me. But I don't know. Moving in, like let's talk about your rating.
Well, I have. So, if you guys have been watching the movie reviews, you might know I do have my own document that I use to rate movies. I have a little bit of a long one. So if you guys have shorter ones...
Go with it, man.
Go with it. All right.
Just go with it.
So rating, I gave it a 6 out of 10. And I'll read you what I wrote. Fun Christmas movie with some funny scenes. It acts like a similar movie to Evil Dead, where it does not take itself seriously. Definitely not a scary movie by any means, but still a fun watch for the holidays. The lore implications are a little dicey, because the ending implies that the family were trapped by Krampus, but does that mean that their snow globe is a copy of their world, or is it all fake? One thing to note is that even when the rest of the family was separated from the rest of the world, they could leave the house, which means the snow globe at the end is not actually just the house. So even if the family is trapped by Krampus, they are not trapped in the house, which is very important because you have to think all of the snow globes were just on a house. The lore can be considered slightly dicey, specifically because of the questions that come up regarding what actually happens when the spirit of Christmas dies. So one thing to note, there was a person that was not connected to them in the slightest who was shown dead towards the
DHL delivery driver.
Right.
Yes.
So that's where the lore gets a little weird. Is it all just fake outside of the house, or is it a copy of the world? Because realistically...
I think it's the world. I mean, I think each individual snow globe shows the house because that's the in particular family impacted. But not that there won't be any collateral damage. So it's more like a snapshot of them in their world. But yes, I think within the snow globe is the whole world, because I believe the people can still leave and go about their daily lives. I don't think they're actually trapped in that Christmas day forever.
So it's not like a Christmas Groundhog Day type thing, is what you're saying.
Right. But at least that's like my gut. That's, whatever.
Well, even at the end, the way they shot the end almost felt like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
You know?
A little bit.
So, like, I know to a certain extent you could say, oh, well, it was just bright because of the snow outside. But the way they shot that was very similar to a dream sequence in other movies.
With a slight little bit of fuzziness with the brightness.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where there's different ways you could interpret it. You could interpret it as this is just kind of like a glass-looking ball at all of the houses that Krampus has visited. Or you could look at it as in, yeah, they have a brief moment of quiet, but then even when the bell at the end, everyone looked like they were starting to remember what happened.
Oh, for
But
sure
a
they
lot of
were.
them died.
The ringing was the echo of what had happened before. Yeah.
So, like, some of them died. So it's like, what? Did they just come back to life? Was it a dream? What?
Well, I think
You know what I
maybe
mean?
because Max sacrificed himself, maybe.
Maybe.
It's tough to say.
It's a little dicey. Not a lot of answers for that. But I kind of like that. I do kind of like when it's up to your interpretation. I have not seen the sequel.
Smooth brain, no lumps. Everything falls off. Sorry, you're just baking my noodle right now.
Because I'm questioning.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the problem is if you take everything at face value...
It's like meta with the meta.
If you take everything at face value, that's when you become smooth brain. Because if you don't think about things, you kind of have a little bit of an issue. Respectfully.
Mm.
There are some movies that are clearly, like for example, when Star Wars was first released, you weren't supposed to be thinking, oh yeah, Yoda, where's he from, blah blah blah. Or you could have, but you weren't getting any answers when the original trilogy was made. That's where it's like, okay, you just
I
take
definitely
it
wasn't
at face
because I
value.
wasn't born.
You just take it at face value. This, I'm interested. I want to know what's going on with Krampus. That's an interesting thing.
It is, but I think it's meant to make you question, and you'll probably never get the answer you're looking for.
That's what I'm saying.
Ponder forever.
That's what I'm saying. You might want to just go on to your review. I don't think you get what I'm saying.
Psh. This guy. Okay, so my review. So he's going with a 6. I'm going to go, judging by the fact that I like horror movies, I guess, a little bit more. I will go with a 7. And I will say, to echo what he said, it's a fun Christmas movie to watch. Usually I try to come up with themes of horror movies. So my girlfriend will actually watch, lots of other Christmas-themed horror movies in the month of December as well. Just to kind of balance out some of that Hallmarky family stuff. They need a little bit of blood, folks. If
Let's
you don't have a
make a
little
note,
bit of
though.
blood, I mean, why?
That is every month, not just Christmas month.
Oh, no. I mean, we
Like-
have Thanksgiving movies. We have Halloween, obviously. There's movies about St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can find a horror movie pretty much around any
For
holiday.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you do. I have seen the calendars he's made, noting out what day, what movie they're going to watch. All of them horror themed.
You say it's like a bad thing.
That's
I mean,
not
like,
a bad thing.
It's a plan.
Just saying.
With no plan, there's no attack. You can't attack without a plan.
This is not a special thing for the holiday season. This is an all year round thing.
Yeah, but if you look at that calendar during the Christmas season, okay, there's other movies as well, not just horror movies. Lots of other Christmas, like Home Alone, Christmas
Fair
Comes to
enough,
Willow
fair
Creek,
enough.
The Santa Claus, okay? I watch them all. It's okay. I'm a bit of a Christmas junkie too, so I love Christmas.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, anyway, so we're going to stick with the 7. And definitely give it a watch, I would say. Like, if you're looking for something fun, something different. Like I said, it's PG-13, so you can watch it with pretty much anybody. I'm not going to go into real depth as far as, specifics with the movie itself. It's got some fun kills in creative ways. And there may be some meta gobbledygook at the end where you don't understand, but just go with it and enjoy the movie. So I'll leave it at that. I don't have to question everything.
I love questioning. It's so much fun. Because then the
Well,
more
I
I
mean-
can think about it, the more fun I have.
I guess.
I'm going to agree with Andrew on this one. I'm going to give it a 7 as well, basically for the same reasons. It's a good movie. It's not a bad film in any way. Not as much as the gore. So if you're not interested in a whole lot of gore in your scary movies, this just might be it. It did have... It kind of poked fun at itself here and there too.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like the ending goes, I kind of agree with John in some aspects. But that's what films are. It's basically the art of telling a story, letting you use your imagination. And as far as that goes, the end for me, it was almost like you're just plopped into living your own little hell at the end. I mean, that's basically kind of what it was with the globes. But it would also make you beg to differ. How many globes could one person possibly be in?
Ooh, that's a
Think
good
about
point.
that for a second, because you have one individual that technically lived through it twice.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, like I said, you can go down a wormhole and ask multiple questions multiple times and find yourself back at square one trying to figure out how you got there. Or you can just take it as the art just to make you think of different aspects, different folklore, different mysteries and legends. And maybe it would get you to use that little thing on a computer and make you look up the history of what Krampus really is and how it affects certain cultures.
But you really don't have to, because we're going to talk about that on next week's episode.
Make sure to tune in, like, and subscribe.
Take care, guys.
Wait, we're leaving? I have a question before we go. If you guys were to make a sequel, I don't know what the sequel is about, mind you, because I think there is one sequel, right?
I won't call it a sequel, but yeah, anyway.
Well,
There's another
if
movie.
you were to make a sequel revolving around the family of the first movie, what would your sequel, like, outline what that sequel would be like? Your versions.
Well, I would disregard the theory that they're trapped in like a groundhog loop.
Okay, no, I'm
You know
asking
what I mean?
specifically what your take would be, your sequel.
I think if they all remember, maybe they're trying to take some kind of revenge, and maybe Max doesn't take the lesson and like does it again on purpose to try and lure him back out, or something
Okay,
like that.
okay.
That might be kind of cool, just to kind of we could go in another direction, turn it into almost like action Christmas movie,
Okay.
laying down some light machine gun fire and trying to take out Krampus.
Some of the toys, the gingerbread men and the elves kind of get it in the end, and it turns into a family war between these guys. I can see that turning into an action film instead of a horror.
Okay.
Or maybe if we wanted to go in a science fiction route,
Ooh.
we could
okay.
make Max be able to teleport between the globes, and he's like
And
this,
recruit help.
and he's like this like legend among like the people trapped in the globes, like the one survivor who can teleport between worlds.
That would be interesting.
That takes it to a whole nother place.
That would be crazy. He travels through chimneys to get to the other snow globes.
kind of like the Flu Network.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
See, I don't know. I want
I want to make that movie.
Santa versus Krampus, where like Santa gets privy to their plan. They go and they do this at the other side of the family's house because now they're loaded up with guns. Right? Santa gets privy to the plan and he's like, all right, I know what you guys are up to. Violent Night Santa versus Krampus.
Or will the brothers join ranks and it's like Santa and Krampus against them?
Ooh.
Santa could go dark side.
Ooh, okay. Okay, it starts off as a battle between them, then they're like, why are we fighting?
Didn't they already do that? And Santa was played by Bill Goldberg.
Did they?
No.
Yeah, they did. Kind of. Not a Krampus way, but Santa wasn't really the nice guy.
Well, there's Bad Santa, but that's
No,
not
that wasn't
Goldberg.
Bad Santa. There was another movie. Bill Goldberg
then
was actually played Santa
Big
Claus
Show
in it.
played Santa.
Yeah, and
In,
the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah,
there.
Jingle All the Way.
Santa's sleigh.
Santa's sleigh, yes.
Goldberg plays the devil's son who is forced to spend 1,000 years playing Santa after losing a wager with an angel. When the wager was up, Santa becomes less joyful and starts killing people. What?
Yeah. Another
What?
movie that...
So there we go.
Apparently,
Another,
a film that this guy hasn't seen, and I'm actually kind of surprised because it's got
Another
a little bit of
cheesy
gore into
horror.
it, but it's cheesy horror.
Anytime there's any movie that you haven't seen, I am surprised because every time I see your collection of movies, I'm in awe.
But if you look at my
Awesome.
collection, you'll see that there's certain things that are deliberately missing because I just don't like them.
Ooh. Like
So-
what?
Do we got to talk about this on air?
Well, I just want to know, like, is there an example that you can give?
Just
that you're
one.
Like, ah,
Okay.
no.
Just one
I
example.
hate all the scary movies because I hate parodies about horror movies.
Okay, that's interesting. So you like horror comedy, but not
Parodies
horror
of them,
comedy.
yeah.
Because that is a distinction. That is a very important distinction, considering like Evil Dead versus Scary Movie.
Right.
Two
Yeah.
Very
I love
different
Evil
movies.
Dead. Love Krampus.
Very different.
You know what I mean?
Krampus
But,
versus Scary Movie.
right,
Very,
exactly.
very different.
So yeah, it's just one little tidbit. Okay, the more you know.
I think Krampus was fun to watch, and especially watching it in here, just vibing out after eating pizza.
He was laying on my floor.
I was. I got real comfy. I had my backpack down as a not as a blanket, as a pillow at one point, and I was just cozy. The fire over there. It was awesome.
He started to take his pants off, but we had to tell him to stop. So
Don't worry about what I do. when I
on
relax.
that note, folks, we are really going to end this episode. It's been great talking to you. We'll catch you next week on the Christmas episode. So we can't wait for that. In the meantime, happy holidays from Wicked New England, and we'll catch you on Christmas Day.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Take it easy.